Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Alchemy Trades. This is host Logic. I told you guys I would do a couple of videos of just some basic TA for people that just haven't done a whole lot of trading, that are getting the bot, and it just gives you some better entries. I've seen a lot of people that, start in a trade, they get excited, things are pumping, and they get right into a trade, but then they start on the higher end of that ceiling, and then they're constantly playing catch-up. So unless that pair does a really big push up, they're just kind of going to stay in the negative almost throughout the whole trade. So I'm going to show you some things to kind of help you stay away from that. So we're going to kind of jump to the 4-hour chart. This is Rapmatic and USDC. I like this because in these turmoil times, they're just not going to dump as hard. I mean, right now everything's dumping hard, but you get some of the more riskier pairs like Nitro, for example. They can have some pretty dramatic swings. So sometimes in these little timing areas, as you can see, we were doing really good, pumping up really hard. Things were finally turning around, and then obviously this FTX just crashed everything. But in that time, it also creates some really good opportunities as well, too. When it really bottomed out here and then came back up, these are some good times to get into some really good trades and make some of that money back that you may have lost during that last flush. So I'm going to just keep some things very simple. So we're going to jump to the 1-hour chart. This is going to help us identify our floor and ceiling of kind of like where we're at right now. So right now, I'm going to put the floor as our recent push down, and then our ceiling as our recent high. This is on the 1-hour chart. And we jump to the 15-minute chart so we can kind of identify some entries. And we're going to put on a couple of indicators real quickly. If I can type correctly. We're going to put on MACD, and then you're going to type in RSI for Relative Strength Index. All the settings can stay as they are. They're perfectly fine the way they are. So the way that you're able to kind of like see if you can see in these trades, there were some good opportunities here over the last, 24, 32 hours here. And these indicators are going to help you know to stay in these trades. Should you get out? Is it going to flush? So there's just some really good opportunities in here. And if you kind of keep an eye on, like, okay, things have pumped up here. They went from this dark red to the light red. So it tells you kind of things are changing momentum. The trades are kind of trending up a little bit now. And then when it jumps over to the green side, it just starts taking off. It could also kind of show you how you can get in and out. You could have gotten in, in these areas right here when it switches from dark red to light red, it starts trending up again. Then it starts pushing down, jumping more into this dark red territory. So, okay, you get out of a trade here, and then when it goes from this dark red to the light red again, it just shows you that it's trending upwards again. Not pumping up, you're not going to get, 3-5% out of it, but these are really good 1, 2, 2.5% trades. Same thing here when it's going from this lighter red, and then it changes over to the darker red, or to the green again, bam, you could take off again and do really well on trades like this. Some type of, if you want like absolute confirmations, when the red line is over the green line, we have selling pressure. But when the blue line switches on top of the red line and you went from a light red to a green, these are good double confirmations of, okay, I can get in this trade and probably do pretty well with it. As you can see here, we jumped really hard this morning, found the floor where we like to be at. Matic likes to be around that 96, 98 level right now. So again, we went from this dark red to the light red. Perfect time to get into it. Also look for RSI. I like this indicator because you can search for things like bullish and bearish divergence. We'll get into that later. But to keep it simple, 30 are pretty much trending. Anything under 30 is oversold, and then everything over 70 is usually overbought. Doesn't necessarily mean you want to get out of the trade, then it just means that there's way more people buying, and it's kind of has that potential to reverse anytime soon. But when things jump below this 30 level, and you're in red, once you see that switching from dark red to light red, that means our volumes are changing. It's a good entry to get in right now, and then probably have a good chance of coming back up to this last height. So you could probably ride this up to $1.08, $1.09, no problem whatsoever. So that's how I kind of identify a trade, what to get in, when to stay in it, how to stay into it. And of course, the same thing is reversal. When this red line is over the blue line, that just means that there's more average sellers than buyers. So you just want to kind of be cautious in it. But again, once it switches over and that blue line is over the red line, it have that better confirmation. There's just simply more buyers lately than sellers. You can stay into it, and then, you know, when you kind of open this up a little bit, you kind of get a chance of seeing, okay, like right here, it goes from dark green to light green. Might want to go ahead and get out of it for a minute, let it do its thing, and then jump back into it again. This is my technique. That's how I like to trade. I don't just like to run a bot for 24 hours and let it do whatever it likes to do. I like to get into it, start it up, catch that, you know, 2, 3, 4%, and then get back out of it again and get into it over and over and over again. So these are some of the techniques that I use. I hope this helps you guys. Have a good day. Happy trading, guys.